Welcome back to the $1 Million Challenge. This is where you're going to start off with $1 and double it 20 times to save $1 million by investing in yourself, mastering 7 business systems, and using AI. In this video, we're going to talk about what to do if you are starting from zero. You're starting with zero because of your age or your circumstances. And this could be anything from you're at a young age. Let's say you're just a teenager, you're 13 years old, you haven't started with anything yet, you're just getting going with this challenge, or maybe you're older and you have debt, or you're stuck in a job, or just circumstances in life have put you in a spot where you're going to be starting with nothing and you want to be able to take on this challenge to go from $1, double it 20 times, and get to the point where you're able to bank $1 million. Now, if you're looking for the general instructions, the introduction video where you're going to go to lesson 1, I'm going to list that as other videos to watch. Go check out my channel and you'll be able to find that. But for this one, you can watch it all by itself, just for this part alone, what to do if you want to get to $1 million if you're starting from zero. And this is how I would do it, because I have, in fact, had to do this where I've started from zero. I've been wiped out. I basically lost all my net worth. I've gone through a home foreclosure, you name it, business ruin. I've had to start from nothing, from zero. And this is what I have done, as well as this is what I would do in this new age of new opportunity with AI and all the things that are going on right now in our culture. So stick around for this video. I think you're going to like it. Now, let me just say that most people will not do this. And there's a reason for that, is because I think we live in a society where we're promised this microwave culture. And a lot of times we don't think that we need to put in work, or as much work as it really takes. And so what people do is they end up being optimistic and they have these expectations. But as soon as there's a little bit of hardship, it's a little bit unrealistic in terms of those expectations, that friction starts to occur, we get pessimistic, and most young entrepreneurs end up moving to another idea or giving up completely. So I'm just going to warn you ahead of time that just by doing this, you're going to be put in the top 10% of people, because 90% of people just aren't going to do this. They're not going to take action. They're called entrepreneurs. They're wanting to be entrepreneurs, and they're not doing anything to actually be entrepreneurs. And they do something called action faking, which is look like you're really busy doing a whole bunch of stuff, but you're not actually getting anything done. Now, here is what the methodology looks like. This is the framework where you're going to go from $1 to $1.048 million. And that is done by doubling it 20 times. And if you look up at the top, those are the 7 business systems that you're going to master: time, skills, ideas, media, data, assets, and flow. And this is so important that I'm going to reiterate it one more time. There's no such thing as get rich quick. If you go look at the entrepreneurs that you admire that are on YouTube, that are famous, the amount of work that they had to put in to get to where they are, unless you've inherited all your money, there's no such thing as get rich quick. But I've got good news for you. There is such a thing as get rich quicker. There are people who toil away and they take the slow road to getting rich, and eventually they're going to get there. Well, guess what? There is a way that you can accelerate your timeline, accelerate the results. And these are the hacks, the tips, the cheat codes, the level ups. Everything I'm going to show you is going to accelerate, so you will be able to get rich quicker if you're willing to put in the work. Now, let's take a look at the first business system. This is time. And with time, you can pretty much trade time for dollars, and you can put $1 into the bank, which will lead to 2. You can bank 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512 to get to 1,024. And that's where we're going to stop right there. Why? Because statistically, it's proven that an unskilled worker can go out and actually save about $1,000 a year. That's what they save on average. Obviously, there's more and there's less, but I'm going to say if you're doing this as a side gig, because you're going to see in the rules, and you can check out the rules, that jobs do not apply to this, you are going to have to start an entrepreneurial venture. You can get to the point where you're going to reliably bank $1,000. And remember, we're starting from zero, so that's where I want you to start. You are going to start maximizing your time. When you're starting from zero, time is everything that you've got. So you're going to maximize the time, and you're going to start by reducing your burn. What is burn, or burn rate? That is the amount of expenses that you need to live on. And there's something in business that we call runway. This is for startups and investing and funding. You have runway, and if you run out of that runway, well, that plane's not going to take off. And runway, the length of it, is based on how much income you have coming in and how much burn or overhead expenses you have going out. So the first thing you're going to do is reduce your burn. I don't know how you're going to do that, but everybody can reduce their expenses because you're going to need access to that capital and really align things and set yourself up for future success. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to freelance or take on gigs. And this is where the rules that apply, you can't use your job for this. You might have a day job. You want to do something additional. You want to freelance, drive an Uber. You want to go on Fiverr or Upwork or start selling your skills. Maybe you're a TaskRabbit type person. You're going to enter the gig economy. You're going to do something where you're your own boss. Maybe you're just going to go to the neighborhood and say, hey, can I rake your lawn for $10? Depends on your age and what you can do. You are going to freelance and learn how to take on gigs so you can make extra income. And you're going to be an entrepreneur about it all the way through because you want to bank as much capital as soon as possible. You are going to need capital to invest in the rest of these business systems, and you're not going to get there just by trading dollars for hours. You tap out at about this $1,000 a year, and you don't want to spend a year doing this either. So if we can get there sooner, you can put that capital in the bank and you can use that capital because it takes money to make money. I'll show you how to do this, but you want to bank capital ASAP. And how you get going with that is you're going to be asking AI how to make extra money with your time. Just go ahead. Go to AI, go sign up for ChatGPT or Gemini. You're going to ask, what can I do to make extra money with my time? Explain your circumstances, how old you are, what you can do, and let it make suggestions. And you're going to get used to interfacing with AI to get these suggestions. I'm on ChatGPT literally 4 or 5 hours a day asking everything. And as I'm traveling, I'm on my phone, I'm asking ChatGPT, and ChatGPT does a great job, as well as the other AI models that will help brainstorm with you what is possible by getting all the information across the internet, what's possible for you to become a freelancer, take on gigs, and make extra money. That's going to be the first step. That's level A, where you're trading time for dollars, and you want to get to the point where you're able to put that $1,000 on average away as quick as possible. So then what happens after that, you're going to be relying on skills. Skills is the multiplier of your time. If you have skill set of a high schooler, so you know a few things, you get out of high school, your time is going to be worth a certain amount. But if you graduated a doctor, you went 8 years and you've done your residency and you've got certified as a doctor, your hourly time is going to be worth so much more. It's the same thing with other people with additional credentials, things of their expertise. You think about pilots and all they have to do to get trained and the tests they have to take. Well, their hourly rate is much higher than the high school student. So using the skills, we've seen the research that you can start to double your money and the income that you're going to get, and it will increase to the point where a skilled worker will put away on average between $10,000 to $20,000 a year. So we're here at $16,384, level 14, just averaging it out. And you can see you're not advancing that many levels. You're going from level 12 to level 14. And you're doing that by augmenting skills. But not only can you go additional levels, you can accelerate how fast you get there. So the more skills that you have, the more valuable they are, the faster you're going to accrue that capital that you need to achieve this challenge. You are going to learn and improve a skill that solves a problem for rich people. Why do I say rich people? Well, selling to the rich is the fastest way to accelerate this because wealthy people have the capital, they know how to spend it, they also value time. And if you're able to solve a problem for them, an inconvenience or something that's going to get rid of a headache for them where they can have more discretionary time to do what they want because they can afford to pay you for that, well, the more painful the problem, the more they're going to pay you. If you're just selling to your peers, let's say you're starting from zero and you're hanging out and all your peers don't make a lot of extra income. Let's say they're just average working class Joes. Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but if those are your peers and you're trying to sell to them, it's going to be much harder. Not to mention, you're not going to feel that great. And this is the reason I have issues with multi-level marketing where you go off and you start from the bottom. And if you're not making that much money, you don't have that discretionary income. You're not in the higher income brackets and you're going talking to your peers who also are in the same situation and you're trying to sell to them. Well, that's not the fastest way. Instead, you want to figure out what skill can you have, develop, and improve that you can go to someone who is wealthy, who's used to paying for things, and save them time, relieve a headache, a stress, solve a problem for them, and get rewarded handsomely for it. If you're in the beginning, well, maybe the skill is learning how to mow somebody's lawn. I happen to mow my lawn because I enjoy it. It gets me out there touching grass, etc. That's important. But I know lots of wealthy people who will pay to have their lawns mowed. On top of which, they'll pay to have landscaping done if you have those skills. They'll pay to have repairs done, for pesticide to be sprayed, for dandelions and weeds to be removed. If you've got those skills, well, your hourly rate is going to increase because you're going to stand apart from your competition. It's the same thing later on because I'm an executive coach and I'm a business advisor. My hourly rate starts at $400 an hour, and typically I charge about $800 an hour. Why? I've got the skills plus the experience, and I know how to deliver coaching. And so my hour of time is worth substantially more than someone who just graduated school or just got their coaching certification. And furthermore, I only coach CEOs that have 8 to 9 figure problems. I won't talk to a CEO of a 2-person company who's making a few $100,000 a year. I don't do that level executive coaching. Why? They can't afford me. And I don't want to spend my time trading dollars for hours at a lower rate when I can go and charge that higher rate. So what you want to do is you want to ask AI, we've got a common theme that you're going to constantly be talking to AI, what skills should you learn? You're going to share what you know and how you can get training in more skills. And you do this simply by listening to more podcasts or reading a specific book or taking a little bit of course. For my coaching, I've taken courses, everything from managing family businesses to executive coaching to emotional intelligence. I start to stack the skills so that I get a higher rate for trading my time for dollars. But as you can see, this is only going to get you so far. Trading time for money and adding skills, well, that's the first 2 levels of this system. The next business system that you're going to get into are the ideas. And the ideas is what takes you to the rest of the way. You start continuing to grow more and more, and you know there are people who've made millions of dollars based on their ideas. That's what you're going to do. But you can't get to the ideas until you start doing the time and skills. You master the times and skills systems. Too many wannabe entrepreneurs sit around saying, I don't know what idea to work on, and I have to brainstorm. What's the key idea? And they brainstorm these ideas in a bubble, or even worse, with friends who just agree, who want to get rich really fast together. Or maybe you're just watching a YouTube video and it says all these ideas that you should be doing, and you go, oh, that's a really great idea. That is the worst time and place and situation to think and choose ideas to work on. The best time is while you are trading your time for money and you are learning those skills and you're experiencing the real world. You are going to start to see problems and start to get ideas. And those ideas will be validated as legitimate money-making ideas, problems that you can solve that people will pay for. Because way too many entrepreneurs go out there and they see an idea or they hear a story and nobody cares, nobody wants it, or they don't realize how tough it is, or they don't have something called founder market fit. They don't know the market. They don't know the people, potential customers. So they start off with a venture and they build something and they can't find people to sell it to. So they spend money on advertising and their burn goes up, their runway goes away. But trust me, I know so many entrepreneurs, startup founders that have literally gone bankrupt. And I've experienced this as well because they haven't figured out how to pick an idea based on a real world problem that people would pay for. And if you do this right, customers are going to come running to you. Wealthy people will come running to you and say, God bless your heart for solving this problem. Take my money. Even if it's something like entertainment or something really critical like a business process or consulting, believe me, you want to be developing your ideas as you are working. You're trading your time for money and developing your skills. Those will be the foundations. Time is going to help you acclimate to what is required, and the skills will be the foundation in which you're going to build your ideas on top of. So you will start collecting ideas as you invest your time and skills, because you'll start to see other problems. As you're solving problems for wealthy people, you're going to see the other things that they want done, the other demands in the marketplace, maybe opportunities that nobody else is looking at, and you're going to come up with really great ideas. And you're going to talk to AI, once again, all the time about what you see. And I would say keep a journal, because eventually these ideas are going to rely on capital. And the amount of capital you have will determine which ideas you can work on. That's why I want you to accrue. I want you to bank that capital for this challenge. I cannot stress this enough. How many times I see entrepreneurs pick an idea that is disproportionately related to the capital that they have. A startup founder, someone goes out there and says, hey, I'm going to build a software that's going to change the world. and I need basically $200,000 just to get the first layer out there, the first development going, so I can release the first version and have people test it. Well, if they haven't banked $200,000, well, what do they need to do? Well, they need to go find an investor, and that adds more time. And then you have an investor that you owe that owns a piece of your company. A lot of entrepreneurs don't understand. They think, well, I'll just go to a bank or I'll go to an investor and I'll get that capital. It's not the best way to do it. If you want to hit true wealth, you need to have control of your ventures and you need to be free to do what you need and not share the spoils of war, not share the profit. You want to do that first. And I'm going to say be greedy, share when you need to, but get as much control and the lion's share of the profit, because the last thing you want is to do a dumb deal like on Shark Tank. And I've seen this happen where they give away like 50% of all their company or their profits, and they have to work twice as hard when they could have just put in the work in the beginning to accrue the capital to invest in their idea. So let's say you get to the point where you are able to put $1,000 away. Well, then you can go solve a $1,000 problem, or a problem that requires a solution that will require $1,000 worth of capital. Even better, the more capital that you have, you can diversify your ideas and how you invest in the solutions for them, the money-making ventures. And let's say you've got $1,000, you can try $100 at a time and experiment and start to hedge and reduce your risk, because you find one of those ideas out of the 10 that goes 10x, you've made your money back. But not only that, you've got a really great idea and you can start making money hand over fist, 10x it every single time. And that's how you accelerate. That's your fast track to wealth. That's how you complete this challenge. But I'm going to say this over and over again like a broken record. If you're not willing to do the hard things, to put in your time, because that's going to help you value your time and it's going to help you get leverage on your time later on. Later, I will show you how to use your time to get back your time and to leverage other people's time so they're making you money while they're making money. And it pretty much gets passive at that same time. It's the same reason that I have staff. I bought back my time because I know the value of my time. If I can make $400 an hour or $800 an hour doing one thing in one area, of course, I'm going to pay my executive assistant $40 or $50 an hour to take that away from me, because then I can take that $40 I've invested in my executive assistant, I can make $400, and that is a 10x return on my time. $40 here allows me to make $400 over there. And so many entrepreneurs and founders don't understand the leverage of time, and that's what keeps them stuck in the hamster wheel of constantly working and trading dollars for hours, and they never get ahead. We need to get you that exponential 10x return on your time, but that's not going to happen until you understand the value of your time. You know how to turn your time into money. And the next thing, if you don't start developing the skills to help you with your future ideas, your entrepreneurial ventures, well, you're going to be a one-trick pony. You're not going to have the full stack of skills. It's something that they call a full stack entrepreneur, an entrepreneur that can sell, that can prototype, that can negotiate, that can go and learn and fix problems. Those are the entrepreneurs that do the most, the best. If you look in startup land, the entrepreneurs that can code their own solutions. And trust me, I'm going to show you how you can do low code and you can come up with software right now using AI. That's the reason I have you working with AI. But the entrepreneurs back in the day that could code their own solutions and they don't have to go make the money to go pay a developer or hire employees, they got to market a lot faster. Jeff Bezos coded his own stuff. Elon Musk coded his own stuff. Mark Zuckerberg coded his own stuff. I can go on and on and on, because in the future, what you're going to learn is you can either sell or you can build. But if you can build something and sell what you build, you will go so much faster. You're going to get really excited as to what I'm going to teach you, but you have to lay the foundation. If you can't lay the foundation, we can't build anything on top of it, and you're going to be stuck spinning your wheels. And like I said, most people aren't going to do this, so I hope you're the one who breaks through and proves the trend wrong. You go against the grain, and this is how you make money. You end up doing pretty much what the 99% aren't doing. That's one of the ways that you're going to get to wealth. So here are the action items. Let's overview what you're going to do. First, you're going to reduce burn. Go and calculate your expenses and figure out how to do it. Better yet, ask an AI, how do I reduce my expenses? And you can just tell AI everything that you spent money on. In fact, you can upload your bank statement and AI will basically tell you and guide you through a step and analyze what you can do to reduce your burn. Second, after that, start trading time for money. Figure out how to freelance, go get those gigs, do it now. Get that habit going, and you're going to see how it parlays into the other levels. Don't worry, you're not going to be working gigs. You're not going to be doing a freelance for the rest of your life. Just because you go drive Uber, that's not where you're going to be stuck. We're going to get you out of there. But right now, we need some capital to get this going. After that, you're going to learn and improve skills. figure out how to maximize, and maybe you can change the level of gigs or learn how to do a new freelance career and other types of gigs, but you're going to learn and improve skills as you're doing this. Use the least amount of money possible. Remember, reducing burn to use those skills. But even talking with AI is a skill that other people will pay for. You can use AI to solve other people's problems by prompting AI better. Like I said, you're going to learn all this as you go. There's a reason I'm doing it in this order. Have trust in the process. And after that, you're going to collect problems. The more problems that you collect, the more ideas that you're going to have, and you're going to see a system where you're going to chase after those problems, rank them on what's the most valuable, and it's going to work out for you that you're going to be able to get more and more money, and those ideas are going to take you to level 20 where you're going to complete this challenge. Finally, bank your capital. Open up a bank account, set it aside, a high interest savings account. I don't care what it is. Go bank the capital, put it in an envelope under your pillow, whatever it is, set that aside and make sure that you're tracking this, because in future videos, I'm going to ask you to give me updates. Bank your capital and covet that, treasure that, protect it, don't dip into it, and you'll know how to use that and invest it for future earnings. Like I said, we're going to do it together. Let me end with this just by putting the rules on the screen. I'm going to put them in the description of this video. I want to encourage you. It's step by step. You may be sitting out there looking at this going, Ed, I wasn't expecting to put in this time. Well, I gave you the warning, and maybe you just want to turn back now, and this challenge isn't for you. But if you're willing to take the steps like I did, I can only teach you what I've done to complete this challenge. I can only teach you what I would do myself, and I would teach my own kids. My own kids are doing this. So if you're discouraged, well, find some people that you can do this with and encourage one another. Or if you're discouraged and you're like, you know what, Ed is full of it. I see the dislikes that I got on my other video. I see the statistics where people only watch like 4 minutes of the video and they click off, and that's fine. These resources are always going to be free. I'm never going to charge you for it. I have no incentive to try and make this as easy as possible. In fact, the harder it is, the more I'm going to know who to work with, and you're going to rise up to the surface. All the cream is going to rise to the top. And the more success I can help individuals, the first layer, the first people who do this, well, that's just going to catch on with other people. Other people are going to realize that it's done. I hope it's you that I'm talking to right now. I hope it's you, and you take the first step with me and let me know how it goes. Do the YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe, watch some of the other videos that I'm going to put on the screen. Thanks for hanging out with me here. I will see you in the next video.